Okay, I found the spot. I was stumbling around before, so I stopped that video, but we're picking up where we left off in the last video.
So, Sam, coming up just shortly. And I want to tell you that today's show is brought to you by OpenHead.
Okay, so this is the sponsor bit that I talked about before. This is not shoutouts. This is a sponsor bit. So we always use this jazz shopping track for that, and I'm just going to intersperse it between Jennifer and Ed's for convenience sake. And I am going to drag it up. Where were we?
Servant leaders in their schools, businesses, community. Big TED talker. Um, Start to fire. You're on fire. Try that again. Today's show is brought to you by OpenHead.
Okay, he tried that again, so we got to cut that out anyway.
OpenHead is the growth set mindset roll on. Let's try that again.
Okay, so see what happens there. This happens very frequently with my clients. They need to try. They need to do a retake. So they kind of tell me that in the process. So let's just silence that for now.
Today's show is
Okay, and let's unmute the track. And I could start it a little bit ahead of time. Let's see what that sounds like.
Today's show is brought to you by
Yeah,
OpenHead,
I like that.
the growth mindset roll on for your head.
I got
It's
volume
like a
here.
deodorant for your head. You roll it on right to your brain, right to the front of your head, and immediately the neurons start to fire. You're on fire. With OpenHead, it helps you develop a growth mindset where you start thinking that everything is possible. Whatever you're dealing with, maybe you don't have the answer yet, but you will. Roll on that puts you on.
Okay, so at some point
And welcome to a show that is going to.
Yeah, all right. So there's a fade that has to happen in here somewhere. The bit ends, and we go back up to the envelope tool, right? And this is where we get the ability to put in this pinch point. And we can drag that down and slowly fade out. Create a space in here if we need to, right? Let's do that. Let's drill right into that spot right there. I can show you one last thing here. Let's take this space. First of all, let's bring this back down here. And because we have to do this for all three tracks, let's create a big space there. So I grab that much there. I'm going to Control L and silence it completely, and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to put my cursor back in all three places and hit paste, and now I get a bigger I get a bigger gap there if I want it. It's not right where I wanted it, but you see what I did. So that's a little bit of real world production. That's my workflow, so to speak, when I work on this particular podcast. And I think showing an example like this, I hope that's pretty helpful. There's other things that have to happen here. I go from start to finish, and I do take out all the blemishes. If there was a glitch, or Jennifer sometimes has a dog barking and she makes note of it and tells it to leave the room. And sometimes that's not funny. We don't leave it in. I take it out, things like that. But you'll see how it goes. It's an interesting process.